Here's how you build the track. What we're going to do is we've got GarageBand open, and after you open it, we'll go to a whole new file. And when you do that, we're going to open an empty project. Okay, I'm going to choose that. And then we're going to add a software instrument, okay, and a drummer. We're not going to use audio or guitar. So let's go to the drummer. I'm going to click that and then click create. Okay, and we're going to go with this guy, Maurice. You can choose different types of drummers. They all have different kinds of sounds. But we're going to go with Maurice and do this thing called Crate Digger. So you're going to find Maurice and then find his beat called Crate Digger, and it's going to pop up right here for you. You'll see there's 8 bars of drumming, and if you push play or hit the space bar, you're going to hear it. Now you'll notice that beat is slower than the track you heard the first time. So before we do anything else, we're going to set a tempo right up here. And the tempo that we're going to set for this track is 100 beats per minute. It's really important that you set this tempo first, because all of your other software instruments are going to follow that tempo. Okay? If I back it up and push play, now you're going to hear the tempo that you heard the first track. Right? Good tempo, not too slow, not too fast, pretty funky. Okay? So we want to add something on top of that. And to do that, we're going to go to the plus sign here, and we're going to add another software instrument. We're going to create it. And you'll see what pops up is a piano. Okay? But what we want to get is a bass sound. So this will pop up automatically. We'll go down here, click on this, and then you're going to get all the different sounds you have access to. Now, if you didn't do a download over the weekend or you didn't get all your sounds downloaded, you may not have access to all of this, but I'm gonna hope that you do. Okay, and if not, don't worry about it. You can pick a different instrument. So we're actually going to go to a synthesizer for our bass sound. So we're going to open everything up, go to synthesizer, and then hit bass. Okay, don't open everything up and go up to bass. Okay. We're going to go to a synthesizer bass right here, open up bass, and I think the bass that we decided to use is called jump up bass. So we're going to go here. We've got our track here. We're going to change that to jump up bass by double clicking it. Okay. And now we're going to be able to get a bass sound on this track. We're going to take the drum track and drag it down here. So it's right here. And then we're going to add some jump up bass. Now to do this, if you hit Command K on your keyboard, Command K, you will open up this typing keyboard. Okay, and this enables you to input sounds into the software just by using the keyboard that you have. So for example, if I push G, those are all the different sounds that this synthesizer, the software instrument, has in it. Okay. For a jump up bass, I'm going to open this. And excuse me, I sneezed, but that's okay. It's early in the morning here in California, so I'm pretty tired. So we're going to drop the octave down. This changes where you're choosing your bass. We're going to put it about here and then try that. We could go down one more, push G. Or move it here. Or move it really low. That's probably too low. That's probably too low. That's probably good. Okay, that might not sound exactly like what you heard on the recording, but that's okay. So before we enter this bass, we're going to click up here in this little gray bar. It's going to turn yellow. We're going to drag this yellow bar out to the end of bar 8, And what this is going to do is when we push play, it's going to loop. You're going to keep hearing this drum track again and again and again. Okay, so here we go. Here's play. There's our drum track. When it gets to here, it's going to loop back to the top. One, two, three, and loop. Okay, so it's going to just keep repeating. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to push play, and I'm going to play my G here. Okay, and this is actually the note. It is actually the note G. Okay, this is laid out like a piano. Okay, and it's also the letter G. And I'm going to play a beat that goes 1, 2, 3, 4. So resting on 1 and then playing this syncopated beat after 1. Okay, you can think of it in counting, or you can just play it and hear what I'm doing. And if yours isn't the same as mine, that's okay. So I can push play. Okay. One other thing I'm going to do is turn my metronome on here. That way I can hear the beats. Click, click, click. I'll push play. I'll start playing my beat. So my line is going to be, you can see it highlighted here. It's going to use G, F, F sharp, or G flat, and also a B flat here, okay? But you can just watch what I'm doing on the keyboard. You'll see it. I'm going to lift it up an octave. There we go. G, F, B flat. So that's my bass line. I'm going to rewind to the beginning. I'm going to hit record. After I hit record, it's going to count me in 4 beats, the metronome, and then I'm going to play my bass line. 2, 3, 4. And stop. So now I just recorded a loop. Okay, if I don't like it, I can push Command Z or Command Z, depending on what you're used to, and it'll delete it. I can also delete this track just by clicking on it, hitting delete. But now I'm just going to listen to what I just played. So I'm going to hit play. It's going to keep looping. And it's not perfect at the beginning, but it's good enough for this tutorial. Okay, you can mess around with it at the beginning if you want to. Okay, so I'm going to add another software instrument now, right here. Create. Okay, and I'm going to go back to my, I think, vintage clav, and I'm going to make a flying clav. Okay, right here, and I'm going to put this up top. If I use my keyboard, I can hear it. I think I'm going to take my octave and bring it up just a little bit. So this is just my G. That's all I'm playing. I'm going to hit play so I can practice. so I'm feeling pretty good about that. I'm going to record it now. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that recorded. Now it's looping along with the bass. Okay. Now I'm going to fix this bass real quick. You do not need to worry about this. I'm just making it sound, I'm expanding the sound a little bit. Let's see if that sounds better. Okay, that's better. So what I did is I went in and changed the note itself on what was called the piano roll, but don't worry about that, okay? Just play around with it. Crate digger, jump at bass, flying clav. Now I'm going to add one more sound, and it's called night. I'm going to go to search. Actually, I'm going to add another track first. Right here, software instrument. Okay, I'm going to put it up near the top. This is called Night Drive. Okay. And I'm going to take my octave and move it up. And I'm using a G, a B flat, which is the letter U, and a D, which is the letter L. Okay. And again, your track does not need to be the same as mine, but that's got that cool. This is called an arpeggiator. It gives that cool delay sound. Okay, remember, you need to have this set to 100. I'm going to play with it first. Okay, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. So now I'm going to record it. I'm going to hit the red button. It's going to count in 4 beats. I'm going to play these 8 bars of music. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I'm not hearing the very beginning of this, okay? So I can double click it. It's going to show me all the different notes that I played. If this is happening to you, double click this, go to your piano roll here, and just take the first note and slide it over just a tad. Now we should hear it properly when it kicks in. Groovy. Okay, so I've got my 4 tracks, okay? And yours don't have to sound just like this. Just play around with it, see what you get. Of course, I'm going to save this as soon as I can. And I am new to the ISB, so I don't know where you save things or if you have certain file names that you're supposed to use all the time. But I'm just going to call this grade 6 tutorial. You can call it whatever you want. You probably have a better name than that because you do not want to lose your work. Okay, so now I have 4 basic tracks. What I'm going to do is get rid of this loop, and I'm going to take the drum track, and if you slide your cursor up to the very end, you'll see there's a little circle. This means that you can loop the track. So I've got 8 bars. I'm going to add some more bars, and I'm still looping. This little indentation shows you the beginning of the track. And I'm going to go to probably, I think, 8 times 4 is 32. 8 times 3, let's do 24 bars, okay? So I'm going to loop it for 24 bars, which means it's ending at bar 25, right? Because this is the 24th bar right here. Okay? I'm going to take my bass, and I'm going to not loop it, but slide the whole track over to start on bar 9. Then I'm going to loop it to the end. Okay? Then I'm going to take my flying clav. I'm going to start that at bar 13 and loop it to the end. Then I'm going to go to my night drive, and I'm going to slide that whole track over to bar 13, starting on bar 19. Okay? And I just realized that I need to pull this out, and this, and this. So now what you have is layers. Okay, you've got your drum track, which we're letting run for 8 bars, then your bass, then bringing in your clav, then bringing in your night drive, 1, 2, 3, 4. That should really come here. That's why we were off. Okay. So basically things were coming in every 4 bars. Go ahead and collect this over here. Okay. And when I go to play, now I'm going to hear this. Drum track first. And 8 bars might be too long for this. Probably should have done 4, but whatever. Here comes the jump bass. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool, sweet. Okay, so I didn't loop it, so it's just going to end right here. Okay, my night drive's a little loud, so I'm going to go to the volume and pull it down just a tad. And I like this texture, except I want this to start after 4 bars, and then this to come in after 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this to come in after 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's the drums aren't going to go quite as long at the beginning. Okay, I'm going to take this, pull it back, starting here. Then I'm going to highlight all of these. Boom, boom. Okay, you can do that by holding the shift button and clicking on them. And then I'm going to loop the whole thing. 2 more bars, 4 more bars, 6 bars, and out to bar 29. Okay. I'm going to save this, go back to the beginning, and now I'm going to have a track that builds, continues, for 28 bars total. Okay, and this is as far as we need to go right now. That's a lot. Okay, here we go. Drum track. And here comes the bass track. Oh yeah. Clav, bring in night drive, a little bit quieter. Just a little bit better, yeah. The loop's going to start over again right here. Everything's going to continue. And there you have a basic track that you've built with Software Instruments. I know the sound isn't great because I'm recording this with QuickTime on the computer's microphone, but this should give you a good start in how to set up something for GarageBand. Once you get to this point, start getting creative, and when I get back to school, I can help you uh, dig a little bit deeper into the program. Okay, so I've saved this, and good luck.